Going live. Waiting for people to come on. I feel like this light is too bright. Better? A little bit? Alright. I guess I'll go live on IG. Let's fix this a little bit. Hey, just typing in here real quick. Welcome everybody. Sorry, I'm all close to the Facebook one. Should have done this beforehand. Welcome everyone. This thing doesn't want to spell. Tayari Jones. All right, I think I got that. Was I able? Okay, I pinned the comment. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. Hi, everyone. Feel like it's been forever since I've talked to y'all, but maybe not. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Ooh, I almost knocked my drink over. That would not have been good. So tonight we are here to discuss Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I finished it on Sunday. Got an up close personal view? Yeah. I wanted to type in. I always forget to do that, like type in the comments on Instagram. Because, you know, on Facebook, you can put a header and a caption of what the chat's about so people know when they jump on. But I always forget to do it on Instagram. So now when people pop on, they won't have to, like, ask me what we're talking about or what book. It's just right there. So that's helpful. Anyways, thoughts on our September book of the month. I kind of like going old school and reading some things, you know, going back in time. Especially my first read for Tayari was An American Marriage last year, and absolutely loved it. So I've read Leaving Atlanta as well, which is about the children's murders in the 80s in Atlanta, the child murders. And now this is my third novel by her, so I have not been disappointed yet. Welcome to everybody who's jumping on for our September book discussion. So go ahead and type your thoughts of what you thought overall of the book. And I do have some amazing questions. I don't see, is Anna on here? On either platform? I don't see her. If someone can, I enjoyed it too. Kimberly Jasper said that she really enjoyed it. Jamie, if you're on Instagram, will you message Anna and just let her know that we went live? Because I know she has a lot of thoughts about this book too, so I want to make sure that she doesn't miss it. Yeah, Leaving Atlanta was good. There's also a podcast on, you know, iTunes or whatever. You can read. It's called Monster, and it covers the child murders, like the real story. So because I think Tayari was a child growing up in the 80s around that time. So she remembers the child murders and all those things. So it's a book based on a group of children's experiences during that time and how frightening it was. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And I think there's another one that I just read in my notes that I have not read of hers. It's called The Untelling or something like that. She has a trilogy, or not really a trilogy, but she calls it a trilogy, but there are 3 books that she's written that all are Atlanta based and Atlanta themed. Sorry, I'm trying to find there was like a write-up on it. I grew up in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. If you read my other novels closely, there's always a sister out there that the character can't quite reach. Oh, The Untelling is the name of the other book. So she has her trilogy of Atlanta novels, which began with Leaving Atlanta and moved to The Untelling and is now complete with Silver Sparrow. So, okay. Only made it to 232, but love it so far. I'm actually enjoying Charisse telling her side of the story. Yeah, it's actually a different perspective, right? To have half of the book told in Dana's perspective and then the other part of it. I'm trying to see where you're at. 232. Just be warned, there'll be spoilers. Yeah, so I'm sure. Yeah, so you haven't gotten to the twist in the story yet. So I don't know if I'm going to warn you there's going to be spoilers because we'll talk about that, but just be warned. Okay, let me go back. Thank you, Jamie, for doing that. She may be distracted or whatever. But anyways, I didn't finish the book, but I want to. I couldn't get into it. Hopefully y'all's discussion will inspire me to finish it. You know, sometimes audiobooks help me get through books a lot easier. I'm the queen of audiobooks just simply because, and I know people look down upon this, but I just lead a busy life. So for me, I have a 40-minute commute to and from work every single day. So for me, audiobooks, I spend a lot of time shipping materials to high schools and stuff. And so while I'm doing that, educational materials, but while I'm doing that, I'll put in my headphones and just listen to an audiobook. So for me, audiobooks just make so much more sense. So I try to read 1 or 2 physical books a month, but I can knock out about 1 a week if I'm doing audiobooks. So it really helps me. Is that the Noir series? I don't know. She just says that she has 3 books. Doesn't really... She just calls it the Atlanta Trilogy. Love this book and everything about Tayari Jones. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. She's pretty amazing. She was the first author because my reading journey's new. We started the book club November of 2017. So February of last year, a childhood friend, her mom is like a second mom to me, and she had tickets and didn't have anybody to go with, and I'm still new to the book world, so she invited me, and so that was the first author I got to meet and take a picture with. And An American Marriage had just come out, had just been announced as Oprah's book club pick, so it was pretty amazing experience to meet her in person. There's Anna and Erica. No problem. I already have a feeling of what I think will happen. I'm 10 pages away. Girl, read them 10 pages and hop back on here. We'll be on here for an hour. I know for a fact that I wouldn't have the last 2 chapters of The Travelers if it weren't for audiobook. Yeah, that one was a little bit confusing. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Let's see. I am in the minority. I was disappointed in the ending. I will say that it could have been different. I didn't think... Okay, so let's start, because there's just some discussion questions that are on here that I felt like were really good, so I want to ask them and get y'all's feedback. So we'll kind of progress into some of these questions that you guys have. I read it about 5 years ago, but had apparently forgotten a lot. I enjoyed it all over again. Oh, good to hear that. I love audiobooks. Laugh it up. The ending had me upset. Yeah, I was disappointed in that too. Okay. I totally thought she was the same author of the book we read last year, where the woman was a drug addict. Hold on, I need to read this. Why won't it let me pop the comment? Oh, drug addict and neglecting her kids to find her white boyfriend. I'm trying to figure out what book that was. No, but we read An American Marriage last year, which I think was our March book of the month, with the couple, the newlyweds whose husband went to jail for being falsely accused for raping a woman. Okay. Sorry, I haven't read it yet, but I'm here for the discussion. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Okay. Jasmine Ward. Oh. Y'all have all kinds of questions already. Hey, God. Okay. Can we talk about... No, I don't want that. Okay, can we talk about... Where did it say? Raleigh. Can we talk about Raleigh? What was up with him? I need more of his story. Okay, so there's a great question in here about Raleigh, and I think I kind of came up with a theory for him. One thing I can say is that Tayari is an excellent author, but her endings never feel satisfactory, in my opinion. I felt that way with Leaving Atlanta. This one was okay. I kind of felt that way, too. So, yeah, I guess I would agree 2 out of 3. I haven't read it yet, but I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Raleigh deserves the book space. His story felt unfinished. Sounds like a Jesmyn Ward book she was talking about. Oh, okay. Yes, that was Sing Unburied Sing. Is that ring a bell? Sing Unburied Sing, I think. Yes, Erica wrote, and then look, catching up on comments. Yes, Erica did write that. It was, yes. Whoever pointed out Jesmyn Ward, bingo, you nailed it. Okay. So in y'all's opinion, and these are some awesome discussion questions that I was able to pull from Tayari's site, could this story have had a happy ending? My answer is no, because I feel like no matter what decision James would have made, somebody was going to end up hurt. I feel like of the decisions that he made, I think that Gwen and Dana were like used to not having his full attention and his full presence all the time. So I think that James made the best decision for him by staying with the other family. However, I don't agree that he just cold-blooded, like, cut Dana off and didn't speak to her. Now, that I didn't agree with. Like, stay with that family, stay with your wife, do whatever. But, you know, Gwen and Dana still could have been incorporated in your lives, even if that was the choice or the route that you decided to go. Jessica said no. Nope. James was dipping in the hearts of 2 women, one in which was his best friend's. His best friend was in love with. The man was selfish all around. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I tend to agree with no happy ending, but life and humans are complicated. I think Tayari's gift is writing about the complexity of humans. Agreed. Absolutely not. Yep. I don't think so. I don't think that they're... Either way, if he would have chose this family or that family, I don't think that anyone would have ended up happy. Okay, so there was a moment of truth in Silver Sparrow. What should Gwen have done when she discovered her pregnancy? Would you guys have kept the baby, or would you have... I don't know. It's a sticky situation. Yeah, you know I have many thoughts on situations like this, so... You can't unring a bell. Too many hurts in the past that shaped your child's life. The bathroom scene pissed me the fudge off. He didn't care about Dana or Gwen at all and seemed to only keep Dana for fantasy purposes at best, aka to make him feel like a man. I agree. For Dana, it was a lose-lose situation all the way around. She was always the outsider in these situations. Like, there was just no way she could have won. She always only had pieces of James. She never really had all of him. I forget what he chooses. I feel like... Why can't I ever open your... Okay. I feel like it could have been a happy ending for the mother if the mothers found love and happiness without him. I hate that question. Why do people insist on asking that? Yeah. I mean, it's her choice. She wants to, I mean, at the end of the day, it's her only child, so she made the best decision for her. Yeah. I probably, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. He's married and whatnot, but, you know, that's life. It's her choice, what she wants to do with it. Here's an interesting question for y'all. So Gwen tells Dana that they have an advantage over Laverne and Charisse because they know the truth. Is this true? I think so. You know, to have this secret, like, they're interacting with these people and popping in at stores and popping into their shop and their lives, and they have no clue. They're completely blindsided with what's really going on in life, and have no clue who these people are, what they're doing, that their husband and dad has a whole entire life outside of them. So I definitely think that they had one up on them. Yes. I would have kept the baby, but James should have treated Dana. She was a second choice and missed opportunities because of her sister from the first family. I agree. Like, he made it known, like, you're the secret. Like, can you keep, Dana in her mind was like, oh, I can keep a secret. And her dad's like, no, like, you're the secret. Like, my child over here is not the secret. Like, he made that known from the beginning that you're the secret. And it just kind of sucks because it was like, Dana always had to sacrifice her happiness for her sister. Her dad she couldn't work at Six Flags because her sister had gotten a job there, only to lose it like 3 days later, or quit because the guy was, the boss, the manager was coming on to her or whatever. Couldn't go to the school that she dreamed of. She had to go somewhere else because of Cherise. So Dana was constantly being asked to sacrifice many of her choices because of her sister. I don't know why hold on, I thought that was a false sense of security. I haven't finished the book, but I had the impression that Laverne knew James was cheating. No, honestly, it was a complete shock, and they were in denial when it finally breaks. So, sorry, spoiler alert coming here. So, Dana and Cherise Dana ends up running into her at this like drugstore. They almost get caught for theft, and they kind of build this friendship. But Cherise is like, my dad's coming, and Dana will always like, okay, I'm out, like disappear, because obviously she doesn't want her dad to blow her cover and call her out. And so she keeps popping in and out of Dana's life. Her mom's a hairdresser, so the shop is in the house. And so Dana would come over to the shop and talk to them and be in the house. Like, she would just ask questions like, oh, where does your dad sit? Like, she would kind of poke and prod, and they just literally had no clue, why Dana was asking these things, or, it seemed a little strange, but they couldn't quite pinpoint it. And then there's this one night in particular where Dana and Cherise are driving to a party. They're actually driving one of the limos that James owns, and the limo ends up blowing a tire. So they're basically riding on the rim all the way till they get to an exit they're headed to Lake Lanier. And let me just interject and say that I love the fact that this is like based in Atlanta, and there's references, because these places are like home to me. So when they talk about Six Flags and getting a summer job there, and Lake Lanier, like Lake Lanier is literally, down the street from my house. So there's so many of these references, like I know exactly where they're at and what they're doing. And anyways, they pull over. Dana is desperately, I can't remember what the occasion of this party was, but it wasn't the mom's surprise party, correct? But anyways, they end up pulling over, and Dana's like, no, we need to get to the party. Like, she tries to convince this guy to like change the tire, and Cherise is like, no. And then Dana's like, don't call your dad to come out here. I'll get my mom to pick us up. We can go to the party. Because she wanted this like big reveal where she pops into this party and it just kind of like shocks everybody. But she can't quite get that moment because they've broken down. Well, Cherise goes ahead and calls her dad anyways. And so that's when the trouble begins. Let's see. I get the feeling James wanted to ask Gwen to abort Dana, but maybe the times wouldn't have allowed him to make that call. Gwen was also too in love with him to make that call and kept the baby. James cared most about himself. He got a glimpse of his mom. Yeah. Would also love more of her story as a woman who shaped James and Raleigh, but that part we saw of her on her deathbed made her seem... Why won't it? It's not showing the whole comment, so I can't. It got cut off. Oh, like a good woman. There we go. The next comment. And hey to everybody who's jumping on here. Gwen also played a hand in abusing Dana, in my opinion. Yeah, she let a lot ride. She seemed to have chosen James and her partial happiness over Dana's well-being. Yeah, nourished. Wow. Hold on. What did somebody say? Wow, there's a view. I didn't see that before, but yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good call, right? The mom, she definitely played a hand. She let James get away with a lot when it made her daughter sacrifice. Like, she was okay and backed James up on many decisions. Gwen and Dana have zero advantage. They get what's left over. I feel that's a good point. I feel like this is a current trend in relationships. Just deal with anything a man dishes out in order to have a piece of a man. Yep. And this is why I stay single, because I literally just posted something, a screenshot of like a message that just guys just don't give a shit. It's just, and I guess this has just been an ongoing trend. I will say a lot of guys, not all, because I know there's some good ones on there, but even someone just completely like jacked up my name, and I'm like, it's on the dating app. Like, how do you, it's right there written in front of your face. So how do you come and greet me and you off the bat just spell my name wrong? Anyways, these are the times. Yes, what's his name? What's the guy's name? It starts with an M, right? Okay, so it was a party for the boy that Dana was seeing on and off. Okay, so totally agree on Gwen. She allowed a man who didn't live in her home to run the household. She sure did. Made him dinner a couple times a week too. Not once did she hold their secret over James's head. Yep, to get what she needed for Dana. And that really surprised me, yeah, because not many women are like that. Marcus, thank you for saying his name. So, they wanted to, she wanted to go to this party or whatever. So anyways, Charisse ends up calling the dad. The dad and Raleigh, James and Raleigh end up coming up there, and Dana's like hiding in the bathroom. She's like, just go home. I'm good. I'm in the bathroom. I'm going to wait for my mom. Like, y'all go ahead. If I don't come out, just go ahead without me. Like, she really did not want to see, Raleigh and James. So they're poking and prodding and asking Charisse, like, where's your friend? Like, where'd she go? What's up with this? And, he's like, what's her name again? And she's like, Dana. And he's like, what? So he starts putting two and two together. I believe he goes into the bathroom and like starts banging on the door to try to get her to come out, and she won't come out. Finally, the mom, Gwen, comes. She has someone give her a ride up there, and they kind of like T-bone and block the car in there. And she has her words with James, and meanwhile, Charisse is just kind of looking like, what the hell is going on kind of situation. And she still doesn't know the full truth because nobody outright says what's going on. They're just trying to keep Gwen at bay and get her to move her car and be calm. And then after that situation, Gwen finally walks into Charisse and, what's her name? Laverne's shop, and confronts her and lets her know, like, this is what's been going on all these years. This is my husband too. Here is the marriage certificate. We were married, when your child was 3 days old in the incubator. And she spilled all the beans. And even then, Laverne just, first of all, she's embarrassed because there's clients in there, but she's still not believing that this is true. I didn't care for Charisse, but imagine how freaked out she must have been that everyone around her is acting crazy and won't tell her what's going on. And that's pretty much how she was left in the car. She was like, what's going, like, it's just weird. And all her father's excuse was, she's just crazy. You don't need to hang out with her anymore. Let's see. Do you all think that if this story was set in today, that James would have identified as, poly for it? Yeah, it definitely would have been a poly relationship, and his actions would have been more acceptable. I think it's definitely more common. I'm not sure how many women today are accepting that, but there's more accepting it. Honestly, I can't say, because I think it's more openly put out there these days. But we don't really know back then because we didn't have social media and the internet and ways of being able to see this stuff in our faces. So there's no telling how many relationships there are like this back then. You know what I'm saying? It's more in our face now because like another instance of a dating website, like a guy put on there, like, me and my wife are looking, you know, to have someone, and she knows about this, and live a little, don't be scared. Like basically trying to tell women, like, you know, live a little. The bathroom scene was so deflating. James only cared for Dana and Gwen on his own terms. I agree with that. Anything outside of the rules he set had nothing. He had nothing for them. The bathroom scene provided it. Yeah, for sure. Like the fact that you would, mind you, I didn't say this earlier, but yeah, James left Dana in that, like he was about to get in the car and go and leave Dana in that bathroom. So when Gwen pulled up, she was like, so you're just about to leave my child in the bathroom without like, you know, saying a word? Yeah, poly is when everyone is consenting. That's true. That's another good point. Not everybody in this picture was consenting because not everybody knew about each other. So that's a very good point. Very good point. No, because Laverne would have to know about Gwen up front to agree. Yep, somebody else said that about the same comment as Essence about Laverne not knowing. Good points, guys. Gals, sorry. Have it. So let's circle back to Gwen and Raleigh because I felt like that was an interesting situation. Should Gwen have married Raleigh when she had the chance? My answer is yes. But it's another example of Gwen sacrificing everything for James when she's only getting this much of him, you know? But you could tell that Raleigh just absolutely adored her and loved her and wanted to be with her. And I wanted her so badly. Like when they were doing that flashback and Raleigh was like, we can go live together. Like, no worries. I can take care of you guys. Like, I so badly just wanted her to go with Raleigh. I was disappointed in how he handled that. Dana is your child. Yeah, back to the gas station. It's one thing to still not tell Charisse the truth, but not, son, yeah, just to leave her like that. Like, I would have even been like, we're not leaving your friend. Like, we'll at least wait here until her mom gets here, like, and figure something out. But to just outright leave, like, you're basically treating your child like she's dirt. Yeah, I definitely it would have been a completely different story. And I bet James would have lost his shit if Raleigh and Gwen would have married, right? He said, child, I was so mad when she had said no to Raleigh. I couldn't understand why James had so many women falling over him when he was allegedly awkward and stutter. Yeah, that stutter, right? Yeah, he had a bad stutter, and it was quite interesting on audiobook. The madder he got, the more frustrated he got, and the worse the stutter got. Gwen annoyed. I bet she regrets it now. Yeah, Anna said that. I bet she does regret not having married Raleigh because she could have had a better life. And it's like, you still lost James in the end to his family. So, you know, what are you left with? Gwen annoyed the shit out of me. Why would you allow a child to make that decision? Yeah. When she asked Raleigh, like, do you want Raleigh to be our daddy or not? And she pretty much was like, no. Anytime I see the word DNA test, Lizzo just pops up in my house. Okay. DNA testing is proving the amount of cheating that went on from all walks of life. Surprising ancestry results. Would Raleigh have been able to take care of them? James would have kicked him out of the limo business. That's true. I mean, he would have had to find... it would have been an interesting situation because it's almost like... First of all, James, who are you to, like, put your foot down and say anything about anything when you've got a whole family over there? I think Raleigh might have been able to get away with it, to be honest with you, because what's he going to report back and tell Laverne and Charisse about why Raleigh is not... I mean, he could have made up a story, but really, what would he say to Raleigh or about Raleigh? Like, oh, he decided to marry my other wife and take care of my other child? Like, he can't exactly be truthful about the situation. I mean, of course, he probably could have lied about something, but I think it would have been a sticky situation. Like, if Gwen's really what you want, then you should have not stayed with your wife, divorced her, or whatever, and been with Gwen. But you can't, like, well, he did have his cake and eat it too for a very long time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, can't be mad. I think James loved in a brotherly way more than anyone else in their story. The fact that Gwen said she was still searching the periodical funeral announcements so she could come up in the spot and say I too was his wife. Yeah, I know. Doing the most. Girl, go sit somewhere, please. I know. Sorry. That is loved Raleigh in a brotherly way. Charisse did notice a sadness in Raleigh after Gwen turned him down, and James played it off. Yeah. I felt bad for Raleigh. He's kind of like stuck in this middle, and you're sitting here watching your brother, best friend, whatever, do this to both these families, and you just have to put a smile on your face. But it was kind of interesting dynamic when they were describing those nights where Raleigh would be over and he would dance with Gwen. Like, it was kind of an intimate moment that was happening right in front of James, and I was just like, so that was my first clue that they had like this chemistry. You know, so I was really surprised that she didn't bite when he wanted to marry her. Yep. Yeah, there's another question. Is it possible to have a healthy relationship that is not monogamous? But I think we've pretty much discussed that. Okay, so there is so much to talk about these days about fatherhood, contrasting the deadbeat dad and the Bill Cosby type father. How do you evaluate James Witherspoon, who is both? He was, like, in the eyes of Laverne and Charisse, he was the Bill Cosby perfect dad, but then he was a half-assed deadbeat dad, you know, to Dana, and husband to Gwen. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how you can be a really good father on one side, but still, yeah, it's interesting. It's just interesting to me that love was never there for Dana like that. Like, she was I felt bad for her. She's constantly being sacrificed. Yeah. Answers say no. James was awkward from the get-go. I'm really wanting to know what it was. Short, dumpy, stuttered, not fully available. Gwen was just hell-bent on trying to make him be a dad for her kid. I find it's like that a lot. I look at these guys and I'm like, how? Like, how is it that you're able to get away with such things? Yeah, I still don't understand why Raleigh went along with James' shenanigans either. Anna said this comment because to me, Raleigh really loved Gwen, so it was just kind of heartbreaking to watch him go through this. Bless his heart. Okay, so Laverne, we find out, gets pregnant at a super young age. So this question asked, is Laverne's life better or worse for having married James? What about Gwen? It's interesting to know that. Can someone remind me, because this is, sorry if the connection keeps going out. I don't know what's going on. Can someone remind me of how Gwen and James met? Because I want to refresh my memory on that before I speak on something. And I'm going to write it down before I forget. How did they meet? If someone can answer that for me. My mind's a fog. So They met at the department store and then just dated after that. At her job. Oh, yeah, the gift wrapped her, and he ended up buying that gift, and then she wrapped it, and he was like, it was for you. Okay, so Laverne's life is better because James brings her into the empire, Gwen not so much. He came to buy a gift for his wife, yep, and then ended up giving her a gift. Yep, perfume counter when James brought Laverne. Okay, thank you. Rosa said, Laverne's life sucked. Let's see. I think it was the dynamic of Raleigh being abandoned and being that the bunny took him, he feels obligated to James. Yeah, that's true. Laverne was following her older cousin who went to have sex with Raleigh. So here's my thought though. Like, I feel like it's an interesting dynamic because to me, James chose Gwen in a sense. Like, he approached her. He pursued her from that moment he made the first move. Like, he made the move on her at the department store by giving her the gift and stuff like that. And, like, it's like he chose her, whereas I feel like Laverne was just kind of like an oops, right? And he kind of got stuck with this, and it was one of those situations where they had to learn how to love each other and be with each other. So for me, it's different. It's just like, I'm surprised that he wasn't giving Gwen more, because to me, like, he was pursuing her. He didn't have to, and he chose to pursue her, whereas Laverne was just kind of like, okay, you're pregnant, I'm stuck with you. We had this shotgun wedding because you're pregnant. I have no idea who you are. I know nothing about you. I've slept with you one time. Like, so it was just interesting to me. Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting to me that he wasn't more about Gwen, because to me, she was a woman that he actually pursued, where to me it was just kind of like, you're stuck with Laverne. Does that make sense to y'all? Melanin Magic said, hold on, I'll get to that comment. It was a knife, and she said, why would you buy your wife a knife? And he said, yes, it's for you. Yeah, I remember that. Yes, the knife. Who buys a knife for their wife, right? Unless she's trying to kill you. Yes, Laverne's life sucked, and she didn't even know it. How pathetic. Yeah, it really did. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you kind of got with him. Like, she's so proud to be with this man, but it's like, at the end of the day, you're with him because you got pregnant. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, like, choose you to be his. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was forced to marry you. He didn't really choose you. Like, whereas he pursued and chose to go after Gwen. So for me, that, I don't know. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. He said Laverne tricked him into marriage when he met Gwen, and that's why he stayed. Not really. Yeah, I mean, that's James's train of thought, but no, not really. Yes, it's puzzling. I thought he would give Gwen more. Yeah, I just, based on that, it just popped in my head, because that's why I had to ask that question before I spoke on it, but it was like, you definitely chose Gwen. She was a choice. Like, so I just don't understand why she didn't get more. And especially in the end, like, I felt like you pursued her. You dragged her into this mess. And then you just threw her away like she was nothing. When Gwen said he could be married to them both, that set her up to receive crumbs from him. I totally agree. She said that's a whole word. It sure is. He definitely was stuck with her, yeah. She was forced on him because she was pregnant, yep. But then, when Gwen wanted to get married, what did he say? Can I for once marry someone who isn't pregnant? Sure. Yeah, he's a bit of an asshole. Like, I'm not denying that at all. He's definitely an asshole. I think her client in the hair salon knew all along. The one that kept interjecting. The way she told Gwen, I know, don't you know, but I know who you are. Yeah. It seemed like it, right? That she led on to know more. So let's circle back to this. I know we talked a lot about Raleigh, but why, and some of you may have mentioned this, but why do you think that he was so loyal to James? Is this devotion warranted? And somebody made a good point. Like, his mom took him in, and when he didn't have anything. So I think that was part of it. But at the same time, he was loyal, but only to an extent. Because when it came to Gwen, he was like ready to chuck the deuces and be like, peace out, bro. Like, you're my best friend and everything, but this girl has my heart. So, I mean, he was loyal, but to a fault. We have to remember she didn't choose to be with him either. She was 14, and the judge wouldn't marry them because she wouldn't consent. Yeah, the parents forced them both. Yeah. And I don't blame Laverne. Like, I don't blame, I mean, she's, to me, an innocent party who has no idea what's going on. But at the same time, it's just confusing to me because I felt like James wanted Gwen. So, like, why don't you act like, God, I just don't have answers for dudes. I really don't. Did y'all, okay, so this is a good question, and I want to know if y'all had heard of this, I guess. In the chapter Love and Happiness, there's an appearance of an actual historical figure, the woman who threw the grits on Al Green. Were you familiar with the story? If you were, did this chapter change your understanding of it? I thought that was an interesting scene where the woman came to get her hair done, and then that's what happened. I want to go read more about the story, though. I forgot to do that before I got on here. Raleigh didn't ever know outside of the crumbs he got either. Yeah, that's true. He was, because he brought some great ideas to the table, I think, even when it came to their limo company and was shot down. He had no other family. Without James' family, Raleigh would have no one, right? And I think the only time that he was willing to betray James is if the result would have been him gaining a family. That's the only way that he would betray James. Do you all think Raleigh actually wanted Gwen, or has he always wanted what James chose as a good thing? No, I think he actually did, because like I said, that scene where they would hang out at the house sometimes just drinking, and I think it mentions Dana like refilling their drinks or whatever, but there's a scene where Raleigh and Gwen are dancing. And for me, that's the face I made, because I was like, there's some chemistry here. So I really genuinely think that Raleigh cared for Gwen. So I know it must have been hard for him to sit back and just watch her be second best when he's like, I know I can give this to you. Yeah, I think he did. I think he loved Gwen. I didn't know that though about the Al Green thing. So I'm definitely gonna have to look that up, because now I want to hear how the true story went down. I don't know. It's very interesting, to say the least. And it also mentioned that Raleigh would come to the house weekly, where James wouldn't. Raleigh had such a big heart. He just took care of everybody, and I loved him for that. Like, I really wanted, my heart was broken when Gwen said no, because I'm like, the two of you would be so good together. You'd get what you deserve. Like, I just felt bad. I felt bad. And then it asked, which of the characters was your favorite? Who would you like to get to know more about? And I think probably a lot of you guys would agree with that, but Raleigh was definitely my fave. I would love to know more about him, and yeah, it's sad that he didn't like get his happy ending, you know. Sorry, I'm moving the camera around. I wonder if Tayari made up the backstory on Al Green, or if it was true. I forgot to look it up. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go look that up. I wish I'd have brought my iPad down here, but I don't have it for me to look up the story to know whether or not what pieces of it happened. Because apparently, I mean, based on those discussion questions, it's a true story, but like, how did it really happen? Yeah, Tayari definitely writes stories that are realistic. And for me, I enjoy them because, hearing a story firsthand from home in Atlanta and her just mentioning places and different things, I love that. I think it was interesting when James introduced Dana to Bunny. Yeah, I forgot about the grandma and the brooch. James was worried about leaving Dana all by herself with her grandma. Yeah, he's very paranoid. Extremely paranoid when it came to Dana. Like, everything she did made him paranoid. It's like, don't do dirt, man. I loved Raleigh. I wanted more of a backstory. Can we discuss the parallels between Team Andre, in American Marriage and Raleigh? See, that's like, oh, I wish I had my shirt on right now that Anna made me. So yeah, everybody who knows and has had this debate with me in American Marriage thinks I'm crazy because I'm Team Andre. Now, I'm not saying that Andre's right in his part played in American Marriage, but for me, I was, what's the word I used to use? Team least at fault. That's the word I use. So of all three characters, I felt like Andre was least at fault, which is why I attached to him as a character. I'm not saying he was innocent and he didn't do his dirt, but this is why I chose him as my team, because I felt like of the three characters, he's the least at fault. These two are married, so why are we loving either one of them? They each did their own dirt, but for me, Andre was like Steve Urkel, who's been chasing Laura all of his life. He finally gets this window of opportunity. Why wouldn't you go for that? You've been chasing this girl all of your life. Like, anyways, let me get off my soapbox. James must have been amazing in bed because it makes no sense why Gwen stuck with him. He gave her nothing but her daughter. And really, like, how often was Gwen really even sleeping with him? Because he whenever he would come over, it felt like Dana was always up. And they would have dinners and then he would go home because I'm sure he had to get to his family. He'd pretend he's maybe working late or whatever, but he still had to get back to his family in time for dinner over there or to get in bed. So really, with Dana being, awake, like, really, how much time did he have to sleep with her? Like, I wondered that. Andre was the best friend of, what was her name? Celestial? Is that the woman character? He was the best friend of her. And her husband went to jail. He was the best friend of the woman. And they crossed paths. I'm trying to think. Because he was friends with Roy in college. And Celestial came over. I don't know I can't remember. I need to go back and reread that book. Hold on, let me go back to these comments because I know. Is the story the grit story for Al Green? Yes. I haven't read An American Marriage yet. Ooh, Melanin Magic. Please go read that book because I would love to hear your thoughts there. And somewhere like way back in February of last year or March, you will find discussion threads where we the discussions that we had, we were going at it. Yes, please bump that one up on your list. Read ASAP. It's a very good book. That's all I can say. But basically, it's a newlywed couple. They've been married for maybe a couple of months. They are on a road trip or something, staying in a hotel. He goes to get ice. There's a woman there. He helps the woman do something with her door, like it's creaking or it's broken or something. He helps her fix it, and he goes back to his room with his wife for the rest of the night. Well, cops come banging in. He's basically falsely accused of a crime that he did not commit. So he ends up spending 5 years in jail for rape. So that's kind of how the story begins, and then it just kind of, you follow these characters during that time period and what happens to him. So this innocent man in jail, you're a newlywed, but you don't really know your husband or you haven't been together long enough. It's just, it's a good one. So please read that. Hashtag Team Andre. Yeah, that's me. I mean, people don't get it. They're like, why? And I'm like, because he's the least at fault, in my opinion. That's why. Like, every single one of them is wrong, but he's just the least at fault. Even that was a selfish move. She was taking her AP exam and they pulled her out to meet a woman who was dying, but not right at that second. Yeah. She was like, what? I paid for this exam though. I need to finish my test. Yeah, it was. She always got shafted. She introduced Roy to Andre. Okay. So yeah, that was her childhood best friend, right? That they grew up together. So for me, yeah, that whole Steve Urkel story is like, you've been chasing Laura for years. Always been denied. You finally get that window of opportunity to like have the girl of your dreams. Who's not going to do that? Anyways, I think they met trying to pledge the same fraternity and they lived on the same floor of their dormitory. And someone would come by, right, and get change something. Like he would come by and borrow something and Celestial, I don't know, was over there. I don't know. Or she would come over there. I don't know. I can't remember. See, now y'all gonna make me want to reread this book again. The grit story is true. That's where Tyler Perry ended up getting the grit joke. Medea, okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Interesting. Just trying to watch this clock because you know Instagram's good for cutting me off right at an hour. Overall, I enjoyed this one though. It was a good one. I'm glad that I like when we go back and read these novels and kind of like, you know, because these authors are known for like their current works and what they've come out with recently. So it's nice to go back in time and kind of see some of their earlier work. And I enjoyed that one. So since we're wrapping up, I will say that what month are we on? October book of the month is One Night in Georgia by Celeste O'Norfleet. And she actually, on Instagram, when I announced the book on last week or the week before, she actually agreed to come and do Facebook Live. So next time we do our chat, the author Celeste will be on live with me discussing her book. How cool is that? So I was super excited to make that connection on Twitter, and I'm super excited about this read. So basically, I think it's a trio that is coming from New York, I think. It's back in August of 1968, so it's a trio that's trying to go back to Atlanta for their last year together at Spelman College. And so they're all from different backgrounds. They've been inseparable since freshman year. And so basically they're using the Motorist Green Book to make their way down south back to Spelman. And so the car breaks down. There's all kinds of stuff that happens on their way back down to Georgia. So when the car breaks down in Georgia, they find themselves caught up in a racially hostile situation that leaves a white person dead and one of the girls holding a gun. So I think they are on the run after that. So I'm super excited to read that one for our October book and chat with the author and kind of discuss that one. So this has been on my radar for a while. Yep. See, look, love the book. Such a great book. Happy you selected it as the book of the month. Thanks, Anna. I'm super excited for that one, and to have this opportunity to talk with the author is beyond me. I'm so excited. So I was disappointed in how they went. Yeah, yay, that's on my TBR. Cool. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, definitely join us. Read it. If you guys can fit it into your October TBR. I think I don't have a watch on me right now. I think it's like the 7th of November or something like that. Whatever it is, it's the first two. Our chats are always the first Tuesday of every month. So whatever the first Tuesday in November is, that's when the chat is going to happen. So the author will be there. You guys, I know that you guys, a lot of you are joining from Instagram, but be sure to go to Facebook. It's going to be on our Facebook main page, I think, not in our Facebook group. I'm going to do it on the main page and probably share it into the group, just so that Celeste can have access to it. So if I'll be going live here on Instagram as well, but if you want to see and hear Celeste as we go live, then you're probably going to want to tune into Facebook. So facebook.com/bookgirlmagic. You can find us there and join us. But again, you guys have a lot of time before that happens, a good month. I thought the meeting at the end was lame. You mean the meeting between Charisse and Dana? Like years later, when Charisse is like, pops up on Dana. Yeah, it was kind of pointless. I wanted them to find a way to have a relationship. They are to blame for their mistake. They are not to blame for the mistakes of their parents. I agree. It would have been nice because they did have a bond and got along so well. So it sucks that these adults who can't get along and whatever, like, they can't have a relationship because of that. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Definitely agree. I thought it was interesting. Jones hinted that Charisse was being masculine looking too. I felt there was a void in both of their lives that their sisterhood could have filled. Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to have seen them at least maintain and not just be so cut off. Bum, 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 bum. Thanks for the fun convo. Never done one of these before. You're great at leading this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Aaron, for joining us. I love new faces on here, so definitely come back again. You know, we'll be reading some good ones to close out the year. But I'm super excited about One Night in Georgia. So if you guys have time, definitely read the book. Join us for the next one. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them maintain a friendship or you know, become sisters, get to know each other. You know, you guys have both been an only child and kind of been secluded in these worlds for so long because he kept them separate. It would have been nice for them to at least salvage that relationship. Oh my God, the void and generational curse made me so sad. Yeah. I hope you make Tayari's new book a book of the month next year. She has a new book coming? What is this? When? See, Anna always has the plug. Like, she always tells me when books are coming out, what's coming. This is why I get a lot of ARCs, is because Anna tells me what's coming. Like, she literally sends me a list every quarter or every season of what's coming out, so it helps me to... She's a genius over here. You guys have no idea how much I love that woman. She keeps me on my A game. I was sad after finishing the book. Yes, ma'am. What's the name of it and when does it come out? Because I know you know the answer to that. But see, and now I need to go read The Untelling by Tayari so that I can say I've read every single book that she has written. It's the only one I'm missing. Laugh out loud, you are so funny. New book, what? Yeah. No, literally, she's my plug. Like, it's almost like Anna's like a drug dealer with the plug for books. She really is. Ooh. Okay, so what's the name? When does it come out? I know you know this, Anna. If not, you're probably pulling up a spreadsheet that tells us all about it. All right, guys, I know this is... How do you get ARCs? So, I get my ARCs, and if this cuts off on Instagram... Oh, so you see I have 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining, so I'll just go live again. But basically, you can either... A lot of publishers have started to reach out to me just because I've hit over 10K now. But honestly, like in the beginning or even when I was at 5K, which was just January, I would reach out to a lot of publishers. Go to their websites, find their... they have like contacts. They have a list under their contacts that tells you You know, if you're interested in receiving an advanced reading copy or whatever, there's people that you can email and they'll direct you to the right person depending on the book or whatever. So definitely email, shoot them email, shoot your shot. Like, they're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. So that's how I get a lot of my books. You know, some of them reach out to me, but a lot of times I'll just reach out to them. I'll say, hey, my name's Renee Hicks. I'm the founder of Book Girl Magic. I'm on Bookstagram. Here's where you can find me. I would love to do a review. Like, just give them your information, your blogs, your reviews, your Instagram pages. Let them know you're interested in the book, and more than likely, they'll probably send you a copy. It doesn't hurt to try. Anna reads books before the author even finishes them, basically. What's Anna's Instagram? It's never without a book. Shoot. Save. Shit. See, that one cut off. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna log. Instagram just cut off. Someone just asked what your... My drug dealer. True story, right? Old Fourth Ward. See, that's another freaking Atlanta reference. All right, hold on. Share the story. Going live again. Let's see who pops on. It cut off. Because, you know, Instagram's good for giving me... I hope they come back on. Hey guys, sorry. Instagram is funky like that. They only give me an hour and then they cut me off. So hopefully you guys jump back on. I wanted to answer. Welcome back. I hope Erin comes back on. So I can tell her what Anna's name is. Never without a book. Well, I'll find her, Anna. Because she really wanted to know what your name was. And so, there you are. Hey, welcome back. Her username is Never Without a Book. And she also has a book club called Diverse Classics. So she reads a lot of classic books by diverse authors. So you can find her. Never Without a Book is her personal one, which she reads pretty much anything and everything. She's a lot of my books that I get my recommendations on a spot on. If she liked it, then I know I'll like it. So Never Without a Book is her regular Instagram, and then Diverse Classics is her book club, her other Bookstagram. Yes, her name is Anna Isaac. And she's awesome. Yeah, it's one of my, Jessica... It's like my book besties here. And then, of course, the Buddy Read Brigade with all of those awesome people. I came back. Jessica came back. Jessica came over to Facebook because Instagram shut down. Just went to Anna's IG page. Wow. So that stack for all of the October books. Y'all know that Anna's read like 250 books so far this year, right? Like, the year's not even... We're in the fourth quarter. We're just starting the fourth quarter, and she's read like 250 books. It's ridiculous. Like, I want to be like her when I grow up. So yeah, that stack, she'll probably read all of those books and then some. I envy her, and I say that with love. Like, I really do. She's freaking amazing. So y'all definitely give her a follow, because... Anna definitely gives me some great recommendations. She puts a lot of books on my radar, a lot of books that get chosen for our book club. Anna's like my right-hand woman when it comes to Book Girl Magic. So if I have thoughts or opinions or questions about a book or need recommendations, I can usually shoot something out and Anna will give me feedback, and she's quite amazing. So, and Anna and I will be collaborating in December. Diverse Classics and Book Girl Magic will do a read together. So can't tell y'all what that is. It's for us to know and for you to find out. But just know that collab is coming in December. And Anna, I know we talked about doing a photo challenge or a reading challenge of some type. December would probably be a good month for us to do that since we're collabing. Just a thought, because I know we keep throwing that out there. I'm going to quit reading right now. How dare she read all this book? I haven't even read that many books in my lifetime. Like, for her to have done that in the first 9 months of the year, that's insane. You will not regret following Anna, but your bank account might not like it. Yeah, you might need to get Just lost my pen. Okay, well, that was fun. Yeah, your bank account might not like it, but you might need to get some ARCs to keep up with her. I got one today that's in my stories, and it was because Anna mentioned it. For those of you who are not familiar, we have a group. If you look up the hashtag Buddy Read Brigade, it's a group that we started in May of last year. We started reading. I just got a bunch of people together to read Barracoon, and how many is there of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. Am I doing the math on that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So there's 7 of us, and we do bi-monthly reads. And so anytime the 7 of us get together, we do Google chat. So we all are on video at the same time. And anytime we get in that chat, I literally, if y'all saw my Goodreads last Wednesday, I added like 7 new books on there because all of them keep recommending stuff to me. It's crazy. Laugh out loud. I'm thinking about that Goodreads article where the guy quit his challenge. Yeah. There's an article that came out on Goodreads that someone posted in the group about a guy who quit his challenge because he couldn't keep up with somebody else's Goodreads challenge. I'm like, Goodreads challenge is supposed to be for yourself, not what other people read. But who am I? Like, I set my Goodreads challenge to 12 because I'm like, the goal is to read at least 2 books a month. If I do more than that, then whatever. Bye, Erin. Thanks so much for joining. Have a good night. That sounds so dope. Yeah. My TBR pile is pregnant. Yeah, mine's never ending. It's ridiculous. Like, I had to steal a bookshelf out of my kid's room so that I could put it in my room and make like a meditation station, but I also needed room for more books because it's ridiculous. I'm about to give some away, though. We're having a garage sale at work, and I'm donating all the books. But there's stuff that I wouldn't read. But I need a bigger house. So that's my excuse in 2020. I'm trying to buy a bigger house to house all my books. Wait, I feel left out. Yeah, it's I know. It's funny. The brigade is, yeah, we just kind of have this clique that just stuck together for over a year now. So we've read numerous books together. Yep, Buddy Read Brigade. Hashtag, yep, that's it. That's it. Become a book fairy. That would be awesome. I'm definitely going to do the Elfster thing. So if y'all are in our Facebook group, we do this Elfster exchange where basically the amount that you need to spend on somebody is $25. So it randomly generates a person for you in the book club, and you get to send them $25 worth of stuff. So basically like 2 books. Everybody puts a wish list of what they want on there, and then the person that's their secret Santa can go in there and pick a couple of books and have them shipped to their house. So it's pretty cool. We have fun. This will be the 3rd year actually that we've done this. So yeah. Aw, thanks, Jessica. Jessica said the Buddy Read Brigade is full of some Bookstagram goats, the greatest of all time. Yeah. Oh yay. I enjoyed that last year. Yeah, we're gonna do it again this year. Yeah. So like I said, we have Reggie Reads, Tracy at the Stacks. We have Absorbed in Pages, Jamie. I don't remember. Lolo just changed her name. It was, I think, Lolo by the Book or something like that. Lolo, Marlo, Leah. Can't think of what her name is. It's like EX something. I don't know. Leah. If you guys just look up the hashtag, you'll see everybody in there. Anna, myself, and I think I named everybody. And Reggie Reads. So, some awesome people. Share your links so we can join. Yeah, I'll put it, if you give me 2 seconds, I will put, I hope you're talking about the book club. The private Facebook group. Actually, honestly, if you go to facebook.com/groups/Book Girl Magic, you'll find us. Or if you even just go on Facebook and search Book Girl Magic, you'll find there's a Facebook page, and then there's also a group. There's a private group. So go ahead and it'll notify me when people are trying to get on there. But I mean, it's basically like we're chit-chatting now, we just do the same thing. We post the books that we read. We talk about book articles. We talk about things that are happening. We cut up in there every day. So it's so much fun. So yeah, head on over there and join us. And, we have a good time in there. So, all right, y'all. I think it's time for me to get off here. I've held you long enough. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, our October book of the month is One Night in Georgia. You'll for sure want to read that so that you can see me chat with the author 1 month from now. Yeah. So thank y'all so much for joining us. Love y'all to death. Bye.